Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Hello guys, how is your day? I hope you have a good day and I hope you are still healthy. Now back again with me Faras and Kiswa and Microtech with me. In this video, we will continue again about material. Chapter 2 is routing the material CCNA. So if you have any question and if you have wondering the configuration, how to be good at configuration, you can ask me in comment columns. So in this video, we will discuss about the new material. Previously we done our material about access list. Now we are wanna adding this material. So is the material now is network address translation, aka NAT, static and generally first. And we are going to make the type at Kisco packet tracer, such as like you see on your screen. I make this lab it packet tracer. Okay, I speak it generally first. NAT or network address translation is an IP address mapping process where device computer network will assign public IP address to local network device so that many IP address private which can access in the public. In the other words, the NAT or network address translation will translate IP address so that IP address on local network can access public IP on one network or a world area network. NAT translate private IP address to be able to access the host address on the internet by using the public IP address on the internet network. Without this NAT, it's impossible for private IP such as 192.168 is the two of type IP private on the local to access internet. We know that the world public IP address are getting thinner. So the use of data NAT is considered very efficient and effective, especially at a location of IP address. At NAT or network address translation have three of types: static, like it routing, dynamic, and overload NAT. Now we are discuss about NAT static. NAT static is map network traffic from a static external IP address to internal or network IP address. This create a static translation from the original IP address to map address. Static NAT provide internet connectivity to a network device via private LAN with a private IP address that does not register. Now that's it for generally of NAT. So now we are heading toward to configuration our NAT. And this configuration we don't need the dynamic routing or static routing because this two we want enabling to access internet without this dynamic or static configuration, but we are gonna use NAT. Okay, now we are must to give like usually is switch port mode trunk interface goes to router configuration terminal interface FA0/3 switch port mode trunk. Yes, then you can close this CLI switch, goes to our router 0, enable configuration terminal interface FA0/0. Oh, I forgot it. You must entering the IP address for our end user, such as PC and server. The PC I gave this IP address private 192.168.11.2, and for the server I gave that public IP. As you know, the private IP have a three types: 192, 172, and 10.10. And that's it, the IP private types. Outside there are three types. It is the public IP. Okay. Now we are goes again to our configuration that interface goes to our switch, adding the IP address 192.168.11.2.1. Sorry, entering the subnet mask. Then for our interface to our neighbor router FA0/1, no shutdown, entering the IP address 11.1.255 subnet mask. Then goes to our server or router to the server, enabling configuration terminal interface FA0/0 goes to our neighbor router, entering the IP address 11.11.2, entering the subnet mask 255. Interface FA0/1, no shutdown to our PC server 2020.1.255, the subnet mask. Okay, done. That's it for the configuration of connected our IP address to router is now simple. Now we are wanna adding the NAT. First we must adding the default router or such as that. Why? Because default router is a route a path that is configured when a destination network is unknown. This default users use network 0.0 and at as the destination. That's it. And the configuration I usually use at this at router is nearby the switch, not router nearby the server. Okay, now we are adding this first. If we are you watching this video static routing, this is how to entering IP static, such IP default like static IP route 0.0. The 0.0 first is IP default route, and the second one is subnet mask because we are uh, uh, use the IP address default is 10.0.0. The subnet mask is 0.0 again. 11 point. Sorry, I want to check again. And for the third IP, we will give the IP address that router this router 1 or router is nearby the server have the interface is heading toward to our router 0. In this lab, the fast ethernet 0.0 is goes to router 0 is 11.11.2. You can just adjusting your IP address. Okay, you can enter. Okay, then for the IP for the configuration net like this IP net, you can choose inside or outside. I usually use inside first. For this material we will try the next material with outside. Inside source static because we are adding the static. The you type the command the IP address who IP address who wanna in the private IP address. Yes, I wanna get in the IP address this 1 and 2 11.2 is PC0 IP address 1 and 2 168.11.2, and you give the translation IP. So because we wanna going to access internet with that IP address, not giving the IP address is 192 or 172 because that's it the IP address IP private address. Okay, I give it at the 11.7. Okay, done. Now we are must adding the like access list in or out. Okay, continue again. Now we are give in or out IP net. The this logical is like at access list. Now the first is I wanna give the int interface fa0/0 the IP. You can type this command IP net inside. Okay, why inside? Because the package if we are ping in PC0 goes to the C server, the packet goes on to our router and goes out to the next router with interface FA0/1. That is the logic. Exit. Next, give it the exit package FA0/1 IP NAT outside. Okay, then we will wanna try our ping to this server. Ping 2020.2. As you can see on your screen, the configuration is success because we are received the message from the server. If I ping it there, is gonna be works or not. This is the result, guys. I ping the PC1 goes to our server 2020.2. The reply message is request timeout because we don't have internet connection, because we use the IP address, IP private address. As you know, I just adding the configuration translation for just 11.2 IP address is for PC0. Okay, as you can see, 11.2 is for PC0, so PC0 can connect to internet, goes to the server. That's it for the material of static net network address translation. Thank you guys for watching this video. You can ask if you have any question, you can ask in comment column, and I hope you will enjoy this video and you will understand this video. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time at Learn Kisco and Microtik with me, Faras. Peace.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.